This week, we're asking you to guess again. This book is by Charlie Donlea. I'm Jamie Livingston.
And I'm Sarah Lyles, and we are so approachable.
This is another Sarah pick. I think we're doing two back-to-back Sarah picks. So, Sarah, why are we doing this one?
Well, we all know I love a thriller. So
Oh.
I actually, Charlie Donlea has been on my TBR for a long time. And so I keep running into this book and I'm like, okay, we're going to throw this in the mix. I love a good thriller. I love the suspense. And I feel like we've been in like Loveland and deep thoughts lately.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to kind of push us back to thriller land.
Okay, and this is July of 2025. So it's been out for a year. Sarah, tell us what it's all about.
From the back of the book, 10 years ago, 17-year-old high school volleyball star Callie Jones vanished from her quiet Wisconsin lake community. A highly publicized search followed, but her body was never found. The case went cold, but the echoes still linger.
Dun, dun, dun. Ethan Hall, a former renegade detective turned ER doctor. What? I have no idea where this book is going already. Wow. Ethan Hall left law enforcement to escape the horrors of the Kid Crime Division. But on the 10th anniversary of Callie's disappearance, his former partner, Pete Kramer, makes a desperate request. Pete is the veteran detective who originally investigated the case. Now he's dying, and to ease his conscience and get closure for the Jones family, he needs Ethan to return to the haunting work he left behind and solve what happened to Callie once and for all.
Word soon spreads, and everyone in the small town of Cherryview feels a rush of hope that answers will finally be found. Amid a sweltering heat wave, Ethan's investigation gains momentum, but re-examining old evidence won't be enough. He needs a new way into the case, no matter how dangerous or unconventional. And it comes from the least likely of sources, an inmate in the maximum security prison.
Soon, Ethan's methods draw him deeper into a twisted psychological game, because there is much more to the nightmare of Callie's disappearance than he imagined, including a connection with his own dark past and secrets that are still worth killing for.
Doesn't that sound fun?
What on earth? I still, after reading that, I'm so confused. He was a detective and then was like, nah, I guess I'm gonna go back and become a doctor. What?
I look at that and I go, he was a detective that saw a lot of sadness, so he wanted to go save those kids.
I'm just looking at that as a ton of schooling. Like, who has the time for that? Like, after you've already had a career, you're going to go back for 8 more years to become a doctor? Whew.
Well, it's more than that, too, after
fellowship. You're going to leave it again? You're going to stop being a doctor and go and detect again? Whew. This is interesting. Fun. All right. So you said Charlie Donlea has kind of been on your list. What do we actually know about him? Because he's pretty popular?
Yeah. So he is a USA Today, indie-bound, and #1 international best-selling author of suspense thrillers. He was born and raised in Chicago, where he still lives with his wife and 2 kids. He is best known for his meticulously researched novels, forensic themes, teasing plot twist, and jaw-dropping endings. So right up my alley.
Yeah, I love a well-researched novel. Like that, that's just, if you're going to be smart with me, I appreciate that. So I'm assuming that we're getting some medical stuff in here, forensic stuff in here. So I grew up loving CSI, every version of CSI. I mean, how many are there now? I feel like there's 20 different cities, but CSI, the original, that was my jam every day. All the reruns on TBS or TNT or wherever that was. We just watched CSI all the time. And so that's kind of what I'm getting from him and this book description.
Yeah. Right? I look at it going, all right, I love it. I love jaw-dropping endings. I love them.
I did find it interesting. You put this fact in here. It says, Charlie Donlea was a late bloomer. He was 20 years old when he read his first novel. 20. Didn't read anything, a single book? Okay. But maybe it was just the first one that he wasn't forced to in school or something. But he read a John Grisham book, The Firm, and knew someday he would write thrillers.
Have you read that book? Or have you read any John Grisham?
I actually don't think that I have. I think that my mom reads a ton of John Grisham, and I know he's a big deal, but I'm like you, and I'm a James Patterson man. Like
Yeah.
I'm on his train. So John Grisham I had never like jumped on, but I know he's great from what I've heard.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, in this world of thrillers, there's a lot of authors in this
Mhm.
whole, I mean, again, there's a lot of authors everywhere, but really in thrillers, there's a whole lot. It's high in demand. And so for like John Grisham, like it's pretty good books. I mean, he has some really good books out there.
So this book we said is a year old. There's about 60,000 ratings on Goodreads for this one, and it's at a 4.15. So it's a pretty solid rating for the year mark. And let's see, 34% of those are 5 stars and 47% are 4 stars. So almost half of the ratings are at the solid 4 star mark. So I feel pretty optimistic about this one.
Yeah, and really for thrillers, it's a hit or miss, right? They all can be like great, but yeah, for most of the stars to be 4 stars, that's pretty good. So I'm excited about it. All right, so what do you have for a good review?
All right, so you said they're hit or miss. So I'm going to give you my hit. My hit is from Suspense is Thrilling Me, and this person gives it 5 stars and says, "Holy cow, stating that this one's a banger would be an understatement of the highest order. Intensely fast-paced, deliciously dark, and way beyond twisty. Guess Again was a hard-hitting crime thriller that barely let me up for air."
See, that sounds fun to me.
Oh, that's like
Don't read it
stressing me
at
out.
night.
I know. I'm like getting anxiety just reading about it. Uh, all right. What is
Uh,
your good review?
All right. I have Vicky who gave it 5 stars. She says, Guess Again by Charlie Donlea was unsurprisingly great. I've enjoyed every book of his that I've read. This one was interesting with well-developed characters, clever plotting, and in this case, a totally unexpected twist. I would remind you that a 5 star review from me can mean I judge the book to be highly meaningful and impactful, or I was captivated and or enjoyed it tremendously.
That sounds like a U rating.
Yeah, I'm judgy. I judge books. I'm sorry.
But like you save your 5 stars for something that was impactful. So, I mean,
Yeah.
Vicky is saying, like, I mean
Well,
what I'm
that's why I
saying
picked
here.
that review.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
agree.
So, on the other end of that, I think we both grabbed 2 stars. And I. I just laughed when I was reading this one. So this is from Michelle Reed's 2 stars. Yikes. This was absurd. I enjoyed the first half of the book with so many different puzzle pieces flying around and not knowing how they would all end up fitting together. The way they all came together was so bad, nearly everything was completely implausible. You know it's bad when I almost DNF'd at 83% and pushed through to the end mainly out of spite. I could and did rant about this book for a solid 15 minutes without taking a breath.
Well,
Ah, come back for
sounds
our
like
next episode and see if we're ranting about it too. I'm excited.
I did 2 stars as well. Again, 1 stars was only like 200, almost 300 1 stars. So there weren't very many. So I found a 2 star by Krisha. She said, Why this book fell short for me. And she was a bullet point girl.
Okay.
So she was like bullet points. So out of several plot twists, I guess most of them, lots of unnecessary scenes that added nothing to the story. This book didn't need to be this long. The plot holes frustrated me even more. And then she said things I liked about this book is pretty fast paced and the writing was really easy to get through and quite addictive with a promising start until it went downhill for me, which sounds like yours because she
Yeah.
said until like 83% and then yeah. So I don't
Okay.
know.
It sounds like it's going to be a fun read. I mean, I'm like getting hives thinking about like being scared or stressed, but you know, I complain about it, but I always end up enjoying it. And even if it is like a good ranter, like maybe I'm ready for my next rant. So maybe I can just be mad that like there are implausible things at the ending. We'll see.
I'm waiting for the day. I can't wait. I'm waiting for the day when like we are so opposite, like complete fives and one. I mean, it's bound to happen somewhere. And
I feel
so
like we've had some differences there. I feel like most of the time we fall pretty similar, but I'm trying to think of what would have been drastic opposites for us so far. I'll get back
I
to you
don't
on
know.
that. I'll look back at our spreadsheet and see.
Yeah, I mean, we have it all documented somewhere.
Yep.
And yeah, you're right. All right, so we're back to psychological thrillers. My question to you is what's one thing, or it can be more than one thing, that makes you immediately love a thriller?
Ah. I
You
don't.
want me to tell you mine?
Sure, sure.
So, what's one thing that makes me like jump right in is like a short chapter that's like a flash forward of something suspenseful that happened that I just need to know.
How it
Like,
got there.
yes, yep. That's one thing that I immediately am like, I gotta go, I gotta move.
Well, and that is The Housemaid, right? That's that first chapter,
Mhm.
and you're at the end of the book, and you need to
Yes.
figure out what's actually happening. So, if anybody is a Frida McFadden fan, go back and listen to our episodes. Those were our very first episodes of this baby podcast. So, again, don't judge us; just go and listen. It'll be great. When it comes to a thriller, I don't know. I don't want it to be scary, and honestly, the description of this and I love doctor stuff and like medical stuff, technical and well researched. I the more convincing it is, I don't know. I don't like it when you're like in the head of the scary person. I don't know. There's a lot of things like I I get to the end and I'm like, okay, I made it. I'm proud of myself. It's like I overcame a hurdle or I like ran 5 miles or something. Like I'm sweating. So like it was a work. I don't think that there's something right off the bat that I'm like, I love this in a thriller. I think I like when
I
they're
mean, there's
funny.
so much. I
Like give
mean,
me
I
the funny
love,
thriller.
well, yeah, you go back to like serial killers that are like, old people. You love
Hmm.
those.
I know. And I think I have another one of those on tap for us on my list of choices. I'm going to go back to an old granny serial killer and it's going to be great. But I that's the thing. Like we're talking of course about too old for this. So if you haven't listened to those episodes, please go listen to the TLDR and just learn about Lottie and just how crazy she is cuz she's unhinged. And I think that one it was just so out there that I wasn't worried. Like, I don't like being in a dark house by myself and thinking that, like, there are bad, creepy people out there. Like, I can picture Lottie out there and she's like baking a pie in her kitchen and it might have like a finger in it or something, but I'm not scared of her. I'm scared of the creepy man in the corner.
Oh, yeah, I like a little tension. I like a little like fast paced heart pacing now, I want to make sure my husband's home so I'm not home alone, but
Right. Yeah. I don't need to be scared, but I like a psychological thriller that makes you think.
yeah.
I like it when I can put the clues together and it is actually solvable and not just
Hmm.
like some twist at the very end that there was no way to even predict. Like those make me angry at the end where I'm like, well, how was I ever supposed to know? Like even if I went back and reread this knowing the ending, like I wouldn't have been able to figure that out. And that I feel like is a sign of bad writing. Like you should be able to drop a couple hints so that like astute readers could figure it out.
True. I do like the plot twist though. I like when I was like, ooh, wasn't expecting that. But yeah, you're right. Like I do like where like I missed that. And so
Mm-hmm. Right.
put your
Subtle
detective hat
clues.
on.
Yeah. I need to like you need to just text me that every once in a while over the next week when I like have this book so that I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not just on the journey. I need to actually like try. Sometimes these I just get so scared and I'm like, I don't want to know what's happening next.
I don't know. I think you're selling yourself short. There's a couple times that you've guessed them that I've been like impressed with you. So just think
I'm so stressed.
You're like that green sweater. Why would they call it green? Or those, I think it was eyes. I think it was like an eye color. You were like, why would they mention that?
Yes. Yeah, I think it was like the lady in green, and there was a lady who always wore green. Yeah.
Yes. Uh-huh.
She's coming into this.
Something So now that you've got this on your brain and now that you're thinking about this, it should make it really easy for you to put that detective hat on, go open this book, go to sleep later. You're fine.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, until then, keep reading.
Keep ranting.
And remember, you are so approachable.
Okay, the episode is over. Get reading.
But before you go, like, review, and subscribe.
Turn on notifications to get the alert when the full episode drops.
Follow us on Instagram and Facebook to see what we're reading next and join the conversation.
We're so excited to have you on board.